Well, researchers say that they can predict someone's potential for suicide with a blood test. A recent study, scientists say that they were able to identify genes that successfully predicted if a person with bipolar disorder would take their own life. Take a look at this. Now, before you panic, they did not run blood tests and then wait to see who killed themselves. Researchers used archival biological samples from people who already had bipolar disorder, some of whom had died by suicide in the past. Still, there is good reason to panic. Can you imagine a world where a blood test brands you as a danger to yourself? Who gets access to that data? What if this information gets leaked? Maybe a mortgage lender, maybe an insurance provider, doesn't want to give you insurance because, hey, this information somehow got leaked about your potential for suicide.
Right. I mean, this is something that they're saying that there are two different genomes that exist in bipolar people. When I first read this, I thought, wait, did they just identify the genes and then see who killed themselves? No, they were able to do this posthumously. This is research that was done in Israel. But again, I think we need to make the connection. Israel is a place where tracking software is, I would say, popular, usually incepted. And so when you think about this database, this existing in a database, where does it go? What do you do with it? What if you were told this as a bipolar sufferer? You are more prone to suicide. Then what happens? It feels like, is there any other way that you use this other than straight to an asylum for you? Can you think of any use case for this?
I mean, this is 100% Gattaca. This is the plot of Gattaca.
Yes. Yeah,
we're just living it.
Well, for people who've never seen Gattaca, great movie, maybe you can explain a little bit about why this is exactly like Gattaca.
Well, their entire society is based on precursors for disease and potential life expectancy. And so the main character in Gattaca, his dream is to be a space explorer, but they won't let him go because he has a heart condition that they say he's not allowed to go. And so everything, basically their entire society, even dating, is based on these biological profiles.
Yes, which exactly is what I thought about. Imagine you meet somebody and they're a potential spouse, and then you get this sort of profile, and you're like, well, I'm not going to marry someone who might be prone to suicide or what have you, prone to anything, really. And so absolutely, it's but I mean, I'm stretching my brain for what they could say a possible good use for this is. What if you were told that? What if someone that you knew was bipolar? Let's try. Can you find the benefit of the doubt here at all?
Yes. The benefit is that they will give you medication, and they will find some remedy that will involve big pharma. That's exactly
Clayton,
how
you're
this.
still being cynical. I'm saying.
Oh, you mean like a positive sign?
Yes.
Okay,
is there any non-cynical use case for this?
Well, you've heard of big pharma, but have you heard of big agriculture? Did you know that 85% of American meat is controlled by just 4 major companies? Just because you buy American doesn't mean you're buying healthy, and buying organic only means they control what the cattle eat, not how they live. Backyard Butchers Texas steer steaks come directly from a real Texas ranch where cattle are raised, processed, and shipped from the same location completely by bypassing big agriculture. These Texas steers are 98% grass-fed, 2% natural grain finished with no growth hormones, no antibiotics, no preservatives. The quality and flavor are exceptional, making America healthy again. Maha starts with going back to our roots, eating real meat from the hardworking ranchers who raised cattle right. So go to backyardbutchers.com/redacted and enter the promo code redacted for up to 30% off 2 free 10-ounce ribeyes, free shipping when you subscribe. Fight back against big agriculture with your fork. Support American ranchers. Support Texas. Backyardbutchers.com/redacted. I don't know. I guess if you're prone to it, what would I do if I had this marker and I was like, oh, you're predisposed to maybe want to hurt yourself in some kind of way, avoid railway lines, railroad tracks, avoid learning how to use a firearm. I mean, I don't know. What else would I don't know. I can't think of it. I'm sorry. I can't think of it.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, somebody in the chat room was saying, because I was saying, insurance, insurance could drop you if they know you have a predilection for this, or you have some sort of a precursor for this. So someone in the chat room is like, well, no, insurance wouldn't cover suicide. Well, no, that's not my point. They're not. The point is that they might dump you in general from a family plan or some other kind of reason. You know, I know they wouldn't cover it if you killed yourself and you gave that money to your family, right?
Right. What were you going to say, Philip?
Well, so like one of the scary things that the way our medical system is set up is psychological issues. You can be forcibly committed and held without. You cannot refuse psychological. And so basically, if they're saying that this precursor, like if they're looking at it as like potential for suicide, that's their treatment for potential suicide is they lock you up under monitor. They monitor you.
Right.
And so that's it's basically like if somebody has these precursors, they can just preemptively. That's scary stuff.
That's what I think. And think about, as a parent, you would have no rights to your children because the other parent could say, sorry, even if you were not even if your bipolar is completely under control. And again, how long before they see this gene expression in non-bipolar people and just search for it, you know, and here it is, showed up. Sorry, you get no custody of your children. You can't drive because you might hurt other people. You can't get a loan for anything. No insurance. No, you know, what are you going to do with that information? There's probably people who, for millennium, if the gene does exist, has never actually done anything harmful to themselves, who've just lived with it. But now we're going to use this as a precursor. So yes, absolutely terrifying.